Hi everyone and welcome to another technique workshop. Today's exercise we're going to be looking at technique on is going to be press ups. So there's loads of different variations of press ups that you can do. People really struggle with it and they always think that when they see press ups in classes and that they have to do them on the toes like maybe the instructor's showing, but not necessarily. There's loads of different options that you can take, and it's about working to your level and building up to a full press up. So I'm just going to go through a few technique pointers first of all and then show you a few variations. So I've got my mat down on the floor. So first thing with a press up, so you've got a tricep press up or you've got a wide press up. So we're just going to work on the wide press ups today. So hands are going to be a little bit wider than your shoulders, and you want to make sure, like I said with the mountain climbers last week, is that your hands are not too far away from your body. So they want to be kind of in line with your chest, but just a little bit wider. So it's good if you've got a mat, because you can take your hands either side of the mat as a gauge to where your hands should be. Now, as you starting with the press up, so it's your first time doing press ups, so you've not got a lot of upper body strength. Best thing to do is do it in a box press up. So the knees are going to be directly under the hips, and tuck your toes under and just take your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Now what that does, that gives you a stable base to do your press up from. So if your legs are not very stable, you are going to wobble about. So this is your box press up, so your chest comes down and you stop your chest at elbow height. Okay, the elbows push out at 90 degrees and then we push into the ground to come back up. Now it is important to corkscrew your hands into the floor so you really isolate into the chest muscles. So remember, we're coming down, chest at elbow height and up. And we want to try and keep the spine nice and long from the head all the way to your tailbone. Alright, so that is your first variation, and that's a box press up. The next one you've got is a 3/4 press up, which again is still on your knees, but your knees are a little bit further back, so there's more power going into the upper body, so you're putting more load through the arms, okay? So hands again, wider than the shoulders, or wider than the mat, and just bring your knees back slightly, and making sure that your body weight is still coming forward in the press up. So just because your knees are back, you don't want to be coming too far back on the press up. So you need to make sure that your body weight is still coming forward, arms out, open out the chest, and push into the hands. Keeping the body long and flat. Remember, it's not about doing the press ups on your toes to begin with. These are all the variations that you can build into to get your strength up, to get it into your toes, alright? So it's your 3/4 press up. You will feel that is a little bit harder, okay? So then we're going to work into our full length press up. So obviously these are a lot harder because we're taking all our body weight into our arms, and you are on your toes. So again, hands go wide. Now if your technique starts to fail as you come into a full press up, the idea is to go back to your toes, because once your technique starts to fail, you're not activating the muscles that you should be doing. So, up onto our toes. Alright, taking the toes and the feet just a little bit wider than the hips. Really, really strong core brace. Alright, so what you're in a plank position, really strong abs. Okay, we'll be working the core as well. Chest at elbow height. Push out of the ground. The idea is, if you can, not to lock your elbows out at the top, keep a slight bend. Squeezing into the ground with your hands, pushing the floor away from you, and making sure that we're not sticking the bum in the air. Okay? So, 3 variations there of press ups. Now you can start to adapt press ups and make them a little bit harder as you get more familiar with them and stronger in the upper body. So you've got things like a renegade push up, you've got things like a walking push up. So I'll just show you a few variations of those as well. So your renegade push up, I'm going to do it front way so you can see what my arms are doing. Hands again in that wide position. These again can be done on your knees or your toes, your choice. I'm going to do the renegade on my knees. Okay, so 3/4 press up. Chest comes down, and what we do is as we come up, we lift the arm and we squeeze the shoulder blades in. It's like a row, and then we come down and we go to the other side. So it's all about keeping the chest still as we do this, so we're not rocking the body side to side. So we're going to come down, pull, down, pull, and that is a renegade push-up, or a renegade row push-up. Your next one is a walking press-up. So this is where you're going to take the press-up from side to side, so it's a lateral movement. This is going to get the core working a lot more as well, so it's really good for core activation. Hands go wide again, knees or toes, come down, bring the hand over to the other hand and then walk that hand out back into a wide press up, walk it back in, come to the centre, walk it over to the other side, and then press, and then back to the centre. Now, if you're doing it on your knees, you want to make sure your knees follow your body, so you're not twisting. So if I'm coming here, I'm not then twisting my body, so my knees are still facing that way, and my body's facing that way. Your knees need to come with your body, so you need to move your knees as well as moving your arms. If you're on your toes can kind of just pivot as you go around. So it's a little, it's not as technical doing it on your toes. Okay? So, few variations there with your press ups. Few key points to remember. Number one, hands wide and chest to elbow height, and the weight comes forward, okay? And don't have your hands too far. Choose your option with the press up, whether it's your knees, whether it's your toes. Up to you what you choose. So, start at a level that is appropriate for you. Don't think you have to do press ups straight away on your toes, you don't. You can also make them a little bit easier with an incline, so maybe put in a box there, so you're not right down on the floor. And you can also use a wall and do a wall press up if you don't want to get down on the floor. If you've got any medical reasons why you shouldn't be getting down on the floor, you can always do wall press up. It's bone loading, so it's going to be good for strengthening up the joints, strengthening up the bones as well. So, if you're struggling to get down on the floor, it's okay to just use a wall and do it that way. Just to make sure that we're opening out the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades, and then as we come up, we are pushing, okay, into the ground. So remember, it's not your arms that move, it's your body that moves up and down. So a lot of people, they tend to kind of move the head as well, so keep everything still. Back, nice and straight from neck all the way to your tailbone. Try and not stick your bum in the air. If you're starting to lose range and your technique is starting to fail, drop to your toes. That way you maintain the intensity of the exercise as you're doing it. Okay? I hope that is really useful for you and helps when you are doing your workouts and doing your classes. So I hope it's a little bit of information for you to kind of get your head round and how to do press-ups properly, and look out for any other videos that we're going to be doing on technique over the coming weeks. Thanks guys!